Hello, hello, hello. It is exactly 12 noon in Eastern Standard Time, and it's 11 a.m. here in Central Time. I'm in Houston, Texas. My name is Queen Diva. I am the VP of Marketing and Communications, as well as the Artist in Residence. I am excited about today's show, Phat Fridays with Queen Diva, with the Rhythm Blues Preservation Society. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. We're a music society with a mission to preserve Black music culture one record at a time. And I'm so excited to have this iconic guest that we will be having on shortly. I have known this gentleman for over, oh my goodness, I don't know if I want to say. I don't even know if I want to say. I don't even know if I want to say how long I've known our guest today. He is from Haiti, and he also has been raised in New Jersey and now resides in Brooklyn. Just waiting for him to come on so that we can get started with our program. We just started Phat Fridays for the month of August in conjunction with Hip Hop Recognition Month. And we'll also bring this back again in November for Hip Hop History Month. I have my own background experience in hip hop. I was the only female producer for the longest running hip hop show in Houston. It's called Kids Jam. It's on Texas Southern University's campus. Excellence and achievement, as Texas Southern is known for. And I was there back in 2002 to 2003. And I had an amazing time. I got to meet young artists back then, Red Cafe, the Young Bloods, David Banner when he first started. So it was a lot of fun being the producer of Kids Jam back in 2002. Oh my goodness, in 2003. That was during their 20th anniversary of Kids Jam. But I think they changed the name over the years, so I'm not sure. I haven't kept up with it once I left, but that's my hip hop background in Houston. And then in New York, I had a hip hop songwriters forum. So I'm gonna talk more about that. I see that Hard Hittin Harry is our guest, DJ Hard Hittin Harry. Let me get him on and we can start this broadcast. So you can get DJ Hard Hittin Harry. Hey!
Hey, what's up? What's up, Queen Diva?
Oh my goodness.
How are you? Peter Paul, what up?
Wonderful. Oh my goodness. It is so great to see your face.
Wow.
So great to see your face.
It's so great to see your face too. It's been a lot of years.
Oh
Ludas.
my goodness.
Everybody jumping in the chat right now, so it's like it's so amazing. What's going on? What's up, Queen Diva?
Oh my goodness, Harry.
A lot of years. All we can do is just laugh, right? Because
You listen, let me say this. Now, I started off the broadcast because I start right on time. I start right at 11.
Yeah.
And so I shared how I've known you, but I didn't want to say how many years I've known you. But you know what? that's a good thing to share.
Well, my youngest daughter is 22. Well, you know, my daughter, I have a son now who's younger than her, but shout to Ngozi. But Molly's 22, so I know we've known each other definitely around over 20 years.
Yeah, I think it's been about
for
over
sure.
20 years.
Yeah, because I remember we met back at Groove in the city. Rest in peace to San.
Yes, San. Oh,
melodic music syndrome.
Melodic syndrome. Yeah.
Melodic syndrome. So yeah, we met back in back when you were singing and doing a lot of the open mics and on the scene and I was just
Yep.
And San was doing showcases and I was managing a band at the time by the name of Blue Side.
That's right. That's
Hakeem
right.
Walker and you know, Damon and all those cats, man.
Courtney, yeah.
Yeah, so that's really when we met around that time. So yeah.
Exactly. That was really a really good time. Like between 96 and 2001 was a booming time in hip hop in New York City, and just R&B
Yeah.
soul, that was a booming time really for everybody. As a matter of fact, everybody that are iconic legends and getting these Hall of Fame awards, they all began around that time. We were all, it dawned on me the other day, we were all grinding at the same time. And look where
Yeah.
we all landed over 25 years later. That is incredible, Harry.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it makes sense, you know, when you look at the timeline. You know, I'm going to be me myself, and I'm never afraid to tell people my age. I'm going to be 57 in October. And
Oh,
so
awesome.
thank you. And it's a milestone that I'm very happy to have reached because, you know, you look at, like, you know, when I started in the business, and really I want to say I started in about the 90s, really around the Fugees time. You know, that's
Mm-hmm.
really when I kind of jumped into the music business side of it, not just as a DJ, because I always DJed and, you know, I was a product of hip hop, you know, popping and everything. But 94, 93, when I became a DJ, a Fugees DJ, and then 94, I got into PR. So once I got into PR, it threw me into the whole music world from behind the scenes, and also able to travel and to, you know, to travel with my artists. I've been to Jamaica because of my artists. I've been, you know what I mean? Like, it's stuff
Yeah.
like that that I was very grateful to be a part of. And not only that, to experience a lot of the milestones of hip hop that people talk about today. Like, I was in the thick of it. Like, for example, big example, I was at the Source Awards with Patra as one of my clients, right?
Oh.
In 90, well, whatever, I think that was 94, 95. I had to go to the Source Awards with her, ask her publicist. And and that's the Source Awards where Suge Knight got up there, you know, and said, you know, if you want to come to a label, you don't have to worry about, you know, the owner of the label dancing all up in the videos, come to Death Row. And he said it at the Madison Square Garden
In New
in New
York.
York. Man, you know, it was one of those moments that, you know, you will never forget, because that's really what was the catalyst. It was one of the catalysts that set off the East Coast, West Coast situation. And then tragically, you know, we lost two iconic, you know, iconic artists such as Biggie and Pac. So it was one of those things for me that I somehow, it's kind of like Where's Waldo, you know, like, people that know me, they'll know me from either being a DJ or from being a publicist, and, you know, from being a father, you know. So it's really interesting how the thread of hip hop has always been through it all.
Well,
You
all
know?
part of your career, part of your life.
Yeah,
All right,
and at that same, go ahead.
Let's go back.
Let's go
Because I
back.
know you and I can talk. We can talk. Okay, so let's go back. The beginning.
Shout out to everybody tuned in. What's up, everybody?
Yeah, shout out to everybody that's tuning in and coming off. All right, so when did you fall in love with hip hop? Let's start from the beginning. When did you fall in love with hip hop?
I fell in love with hip hop when I first heard records like The Message or Rapper's Delight. That was it for me. That was like, you know, when you hear those songs, those iconic songs from Sugar Hill Records, it really gave us the blueprint, you know. Like, I come from the product of hip hop from the 70s, where I watched it on the streets. I performed it as a you know, as a b-boy, and so I got immersed in it. You know, I got immersed in it, and so those records really kind of started showing me hip hop. And then music videos. You know, when music videos started to come into play, like Video Music Box. Shout out to Uncle Ralph McDaniels. New York Hot Tracks. Shout out to Carlos De Jesus. You know what I mean? When you started seeing music videos and you started to actually see the visual on a major scale of hip hop being performed, such as the DJ, such as the graffiti, and of course beatboxing, you know, DJing and you know, rapping, of course, MCing, fashion, hip hop fashion, you know. So once you started to see it, then that's when it started to really become global, I believe. Shout out to Yo MTV Raps with Phat Fridays. Those platforms early on is what brought hip hop to the world, Yeah. And so I'm grateful for those. I'm grateful to be in that era. I'm grateful to have, you know, came up in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's just iconic. And like when we talk about 50 years, you know, it means a lot to me personally, you know, because I'm, like I said, I was a B-boy, you know, so I did it in the streets. And from doing it in the streets to be able to DJ, you know, I'm grateful. I'm absolutely grateful for that.
So when you first heard it, were you at home? Were you outside with your friends? I mean, what was that moment, that iconic moment when you first heard Hit My Son? Oh, I love this. You remember where?
Probably the radio.
Okay.
The radio. I'm a huge radio fanatic. Like, I love radio. So I listen to the radio a lot. I'm a product of radio. And so I was listening to stations like, you know, 98.7 KISS with Cool DJ Red Alert. You know, Mr. Magic, of course. Who could forget Super Rock and Mr. Magic? You know, this is a super rocker Mr. Magic blast. When you heard that, you knew that Mr. Magic was about to hit you with some joints. So shout out to Mr. Magic, rest in peace. I had the wonderful opportunity of meeting him when I first got into PR through Granddaddy IU and Cold Chillin' Records. And that was my first day as a publicist, and I met Mr. Magic. But yeah, those influences right there made me listen. I listened to, because they would play all the joints. You know, Magic had the Juice Crew, so he was playing Roxanne Shante. He was playing Biz. He was playing, you know, Master Ace. You know what I mean? So everybody on the symphony, Marley Marl. You know what I mean? So it was dope for him because he gave that radio platform an outlet to showcase the artists on Cold Chillin', and that really started to set off a lot of stuff. And then you had over on 98.7 KISS with Cool DJ Red Alert, and he started bringing out the native tongues. Like, he would introduce the native tongue. So you're talking about Tribe, you know, Tribe Called Quest, a Black Sheep, you know what I mean? Queen Latifah, come on, you know? So I was in all of that.
Okay.
Come on, if we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it, right?
Absolutely. Okay, now, you heard it, you loved it. So what did you do to first get into it? Now, you say, were you a B-boy first, and then you got into DJing? So what
I was a B-boy first. Okay. I was a B-boy first. You know, I was popping and doing all that in the streets. Coming to Washington Square Park to you know, battle. What up, Script? I see you, fam.
Yeah,
DJ Script in the building.
Showing love.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was a popper first. I got involved in that because I was in high school. So, you know, I was actually doing it in the hallways and the class shows. And there's a clip of me, actually, that Script put up of me on the class shows. But that was my transition from that to DJing. Because then I started collecting records.
Okay, so you were dancing and just everywhere, just kind of freestyling, not really on stage or anything, just kind of enjoying the vibe or whatever. So how did you get from dancing to actually DJing?
Collecting vinyl. You know, I started collecting vinyl and, you know, listening to the radio. I wanted to buy those records that I heard on the radio. So I started collecting vinyl. You know, I started going to record stores and I started getting my vinyl collection. Not just hip hop, but, you know, soul, funk, reggae, R&B. Like, I bought everything, you know, which is why my music palette is very varied and very vast. So, I'm listening to rock, pop, you know, world music. And so that's really why my music palette is so varied, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I do parties, I could go from one genre to the next, like, seamlessly. And that's really what I like to do, because there's a whole world out there. So I try not to I try to incorporate the world in my set. So
were you mentored on how to actually do the art of DJing, or you just trial and error? Were you mentored on how to actually do the art of DJing, or you just trial and error? How did that work?
Yeah, it was definitely, you know, I was rolling with a crew of DJs, so we just practiced. You know, we practiced. Shout out to cool DJ LES, my boy Jean-Marc in Jersey, DJ Anthony Martin. Those are the guys that I was like, you know, running with. And so we practiced all the time. You know, as a DJ, you practice. You practice, you practice, you practice. Days in, day out, doing sets. And that's how really, you know, I got my bones as a DJ. And watched and performed and studied other DJs too. I studied other DJs, you know, early DJs like Grandmaster Flash, Jazzy J, Grand Mixer DST. I could go on and on, you know what I mean? So those guys were my influences as well. You know, the executioners, you know, DJs like though I studied other DJs as well and paid attention to other DJs and, you know, just got my weight up. Brother Basil over on the house music side. You know, I'm a huge house music head. So there's, you know, Brother Basil, there's Tony Humphreys, there's Merlin Bob, there's a whole Sting International, you know, so I just could go on and shout out so many people that have influenced me.
I see. So
Love Jones Boston, I see you, Love Jones. What's up, Kufere?
Yeah.
Everybody popping in.
Everybody popping in.
Let them know what we're doing. Let them know what we're doing.
So when you got the skills, you got to practice everything. So how did you get from practicing with your fellow DJ friends to getting the gig with the Fugees?
Okay, well that happened where my boy, this dude that I lived in Jersey with by the name of Papa Levi, he's in Dread. Papa Levi, he's the brother of my former business partner, Lisa Chase Patterson, when I was a publicist. So Levi and I, we were like, that's my boy to this day, you know. So he knew Clef, and I knew Clef too, you know, inadvertently from just Velsburg, from being in Newark. But he found out from Clef's camp that they had just got signed and they were looking for a DJ. And so he said, if you're interested, I want to bring you to the Booger Basement studio in East Orange, New Jersey. And, you know, they might want you to do a quick audition. So I was like, cool. So that's what happened. Long story short, I went to the Booger Basement and auditioned for Lauren, on the spot for Lauren, Praz, and Wyclef. They were all there, and they were like, you're in. And plus, I'm Haitian too. So, you know, Haitian, you know, shout out to all my Haitians. So, sak passe to all my Haitians tuned in. And so it was automatic, you know, they were like, cool, you know, we want you to be a part of, you know, the show. So what they did was they had a band and they wanted to include a DJ with the band. So shout out to Jerry Wonder. Jerry was on bass. He had a drummer, and then me as a DJ, and then Wyclef on guitar, and then Lauren and Praz and Wyclef also, you know, on the mic. So that's how it started. It was, you know, Clef was very adamant about adding the element of a DJ as a hip hop head that he is to his band. So I was blessed enough and, you know, honored to be chosen as the original DJ. And it was amazing. You know, it was amazing. I did a lot of promo shows with them. You know, we went everywhere. We did shows for Sony, you know, because at that time, and I tell everybody this when they ask me about the Fugees, you know, weren't there yet. They didn't have the hits yet. You know, they were up and coming. They were on the grind. They were on the underground. And, you know, at that time, Nas was signed, Escape. You know, we were label mates with Nas, Escape, and also I forgot one other group. But Big L. So those were the three people that were on our labels. We were on Columbia. Okay. They were on Rough House Columbia, and so they were low on the totem pole. They didn't have a hit. You know, they came out with this video called Booth Bop, but it was mostly getting played like on like Video Music Box, and you know, what was that? The Box. Remember the Box where you had to request? That was huge for us at the time. When you know, people were able to request the video and it would pop up. You know what I mean? So that was back in the days, man. like straight 94, 93.
Wow.
But yeah, man, we did shows. You know, I remember one show we did, Clef was adamant about bringing a goat on stage because he wanted to add the element of Haiti. So he actually went and got a live goat, and we did a show with Jodeci. And he brought the goat out on stage. And what's funny about that story, is my boy, Eric E-Rock, he had a rodeo. He had a truck. So the Fugees, you know, they were riding in their town cars, you know, and, you know, to the show and everything. And so me and Eric rode in the truck with the goat.
Oh, boy.
And it was so funny because the goat was, you know, doo-dooing and peeing in his truck. And I'll just never forget. Eric was pissed. Eric, you know, I call him E-Rock. E-Rock was pissed. He was like, oh, man. He's like, y'all got me on this road trip with his goat. He's in the back, peeing and doo-dooing in his truck. He was so pissed off. But it was one of those moments that I'll never forget with the Fugees. Like when I saw Clef in 2020. I saw Clef in 2020. We did a show for the Capital Jazz Super Cruise. And that was amazing. And we got on the boat together. What up, Crazy Legs? Salute. Rocksteady crew in the building. Salute to the Rocksteady crew president, co-founder, Crazy Legs in the building. I see you. BX.
Hey, Crazy Legs.
What's up, Crazy Legs? Yes, man. So, yeah, going back to that was hilarious.
Wow.
And, yeah, and so we talked about that when we got on the ship, you know, because I DJ'd on that cruise. I had opened for Fantasia, SWV, DJ for Kid and Play, opened for Mars Day and the Time. Like, that was an amazing experience. And so when Clef got on the boat, Wyclef and I got on the boat at the same time. He was like, yo, you here? I was like, yeah, I'm here. He was like, yo, meet me on stage, you know, for the Sail Away party. So he was the main act, the headliner for the Sail Away party as the boat left. Okay. And so, you know, I'm Fugees, Booger Basement, you know what I mean? Yes, so I'm on stage with him, went on stage doing all the you know, ad libs and backing vocals. It was dope, man. It was dope. So yeah, and then we were talking about that whole goat situation, you know.
So how long did you actually tour with them in the beginning?
It was only a year. It was only about a year. Yep. Okay. It was only a year. Right after that, I became a publicist, you know.
Okay. That's how I want to ask you. How did you transition from that to that? Because that seems like a total different direction.
Right. Well, they had a tour that was coming up, a European tour, and they wanted to go with another DJ. So they went with the next DJ. His name was DJ Leon, and then I got a call from my boy Vincent Carroll, who was telling me that there was a position available to be a publicist at Double Exposure Publicity in the city.
Oh wow!
So,
everybody
I don't know Angela Ellaby. Yep. So and what's crazy about that is I had never did publicity a day in my life. Never.
Ask you, how did you get into something you ain't never know
anything about? I was his intern. I interned for Vince. You know, so that was my beginning. And I always tell people, man, like if you're ever gonna get in anything, it's always best to start off as an intern because you just never know where that will lead you. You know, you're actually doing the actual work. You know. And you're being shown the ropes. So I started with Vince as an intern, and then he left. He left. Wow. About a month after I started. He taught me everything, and he jumped. He left, and he was like, you know, you're the man now. Wow. It was that simple, and it was an amazing experience, you know, because I was working with Patra, I was working with Shabba Ranks, I was working with Drew Hill as their publicist when Drew Hill first came out. Wow. Soul for real, you know, and Isley Brothers, you know, it was one of those things that just, I always say the universe always puts me in the right places, you know, and so I think Vince knew that he was leaving, And so he knew that I would probably be the right person for the job. And so once I started, like day one, my first day, I'm doing a press day for Granddaddy IU, like day one. So I got thrown into it. I'm assembling press kits, for Granddaddy IU because he was going to be in Newark the next day to do a press event and receive a proclamation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He was doing, he was actually, what was he doing? He was feeding the homeless. He went to a homeless shelter. He gave away free sandwiches, free food, and all of that. And, just doing community work. He did a lot of community work. So then after maybe about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, we had a ceremony back at City Hall in Newark, right? And then the council member for Newark at the time presented him with a proclamation. And mind you, this is my first day as being a publicist. Like, I had no idea what was going on. Like, wow, and then all the cameras were there, like, and editors and, the Star Ledger newspaper, which is New Jersey's #1 newspaper, was there. And, it was cameras popping. And here he is accepting the proclamation. And I was like, I get it now.
Wow.
Right there, the light bulb hit in my head. I was like, that's publicity. I mean, we always knew what publicity was, being a publicist, but to actually be in the to actually work, a publicity campaign was something really, really,
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was my exposure to publicity. And so I ended up being at Double Exposure for 3 years.
Okay.
And Crazy Legs knows this all to be true. We also did publicity for the Universal Zulu Nation back in '94 for the 20th anniversary. And that was another crazy, iconic moment for me as a hip-hop head. Because here it is, Africa Bambaataa, and shout out to TC Islam, rest in peace, Brother Righteous, Muhammad, shout out to Muhammad. All the Zulu Nation members came to the office and they said, we want to hire you to do PR for the 20th anniversary of the Zulu Nation.
Oh.
So I was in charge of that.
Wow.
I formed relationships with Zulu Nation members all over the world, and also got press for the Zulu Nation. Africa Bambaataa, Crazy Legs, Crazy Legs, who's in the chat. TC Islam, Brother Righteous, Lucky Strike, and it just gave them such a major exposure.
Wow.
In terms of hip hop. So they had an anniversary.
Okay.
They had an anniversary, which was the reason why they needed a publicist. And all the hip hoppers from all over the world came to that anniversary. And you talk about B-boys. It was kind of like what we see today for 50th anniversary, which is beautiful to see. Beautiful to see. However, the Zulu Nation 20th anniversary, which is what I worked, was really like, it was like Tribe was there, George Clinton was there, Bootsy was there. It was like the pioneers that really, were the influences for hip hop that I was exposed to for the 20th anniversary. And it was incredible. It was incredible. Yeah, that's incredible. By the way, I got to give a shout out to my brother Kenny for Hip Hop United. This is his version of the official flag for hip hop. You know what I mean? So I have a T-shirt. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, it's the Hip Hop United flag. You know what I mean? So shout out to Kenny. Yeah, I wanted to show him some love.
Look at that. That's really nice.
Yeah.
I like
He's got T-shirts too. What's up, Trish? How you doing? Welcome in. Shout out to all my IG fam checking in right now.
IG
doing
fam,
an interview.
Celebrities,
Yeah.
friends,
Doing an interview with my sister Queen Diva. What's this? The R&B. Explain the R&B Preservation Society. The R&B.
Yeah, so the Rhythm and Blues Preservation Society has been around since 2018. It is founded by Mr. Perry Thompson, who is
How you doing, sir?
CEO.
He's in the chat.
And he just had a vision to preserve Black music culture. He loves Black music, hip hop, soul, jazz, R&B, rock and roll, everything that we have created in America since 1619.
Yes, yes, yes.
He was the preserver.
Fantastic.
And so he recruited me 3 years ago, and we just took it to a whole nother level through social media. That was with my background with publicity and things, I said, let's do social media. Let's hit everybody's social media first. And we've been doing some great work. And we're based out of Atlantic City, New Jersey. Jersey is where it's
Hey,
at.
Jersey.
Hey, listen.
Jersey. I'm in Jersey City.
See, listen. Everybody
back
knows
to Jersey City.
New York, New Jersey is a lot of creativity, a lot of love for Black music culture is in New Jersey, just as it is in New York. We got a proclamation on February 21st, 2022. We have official Rhythm and Blues Preservation Society Day, which is also Nina Simone's birthday. And so we did a 90th celebration of her birthday in February. We included my girl, Ayanda Sunshine. Shout out to her.
What up, Ayanda?
She sang a Nina Simone tribute that I produced, Love, Pain, and Activism, a Nina Simone tribute at Atlantic Cape Community College. So we're doing some big things in Atlantic City, and we're going to different universities,
I love Atlantic City.
And colleges. Yeah, so
grew up in
what we're doing.
Atlantic City too.
I didn't realize how many people are connected to Atlantic City. It was so surprising.
I have family in Mays Landing, which is not too far. So I spent a lot of time in Atlantic City during my teenage years. I grew up mostly I'm from grew up Brick City, Newark, New Jersey. I've been all over Jersey, but Atlantic City specifically, I got to give a shout out to Mays Landing. I'll go from Mays Landing to AC, back and forth. Yeah, it's
really amazing. When we researched about Atlantic City, we found out that Nina Simone's first gig as a pianist was in Atlantic City.
Wow.
So that's why we specifically had her birthday as our Founders Day, because that's where she started her jazz career. That's how she just really made a huge difference in jazz and activism, from there and all over the world. So, that's what we're about. We're a nonprofit. We're always open for donations. You can donate to us anytime, 365, sometimes 366 days out of the year. It's tax deductible. Amen.
Amen. Oh man, they got the right one for the job. You are amazing.
You know how much I love music. I love music, period. From stemming back from when I used to do my Songwriters Forum, I have a sweet spot for hip hop urban songwriters. I just have a sweet spot for them from those days back in '97. I can't believe it. It's been 26 years.
Well, we're here. We're preserving the culture. That's why I'm so honored to be here to share my story and to spread the culture and to enlighten. So I'm honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad to have you, because I didn't realize how much you were doing as a DJ. Because I known you, like I said, as a publicist. We connected as you as a publicist, and I had you on my Songwriters Forum, Queen Diva Entertainment NYC Songwriters Forum. Remember Borders Books and Music back in the day.
Yes.
So I didn't know you were a DJ until I want to say about 5 years ago, 7 years ago. And when we connected to do a song together. A lot of people don't know I sing.
Oh, yes.
I sing. And I asked Harry to remix one of my songs.
Yes.
And he's like, sure, Queen Diva, sure. I said,
yes, 305-718 Music. Shout out to my partner, DJ Super JB.
Oh, my goodness. Yes. So, you remixed my song.
And wasn't it getting played in the stores?
It was getting played in the... Listen, I was hustling with that song. I got it played in Ashley Stewart stores nationwide for about 2 years.
What was the name of the song? I forgot the name of the song.
Oh, Lord. I can forget my own song.
It was one of the songs. I remember when we did that. Yes. Oh, that's bad, right? Oh, Lord. But we'll get it. We'll find it. That's terrible.
But it's on SoundCloud.
It's on
so if you look at
SoundCloud.
Divine Voices Worldwide. Divine Voices Media Worldwide on SoundCloud.
Yes.
Oh my God, I can't believe I can't remember. I'm so happy to just talk about you. I can't even remember my own song. Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh,
So what else do you want to discuss?
oh, so much more. I got a tablet. Listen, I got a tablet full of stuff. All right. So after you had left Double Exposure, you got into Meridian Entertainment. So let's talk about Meridian Entertainment with Chase. Shout out to Chase.
Shout out to Chase.
What y'all were doing, we were doing some great work with your boutique firm. But it may be boutique, but y'all was doing a lot. So share about Meridian Entertainment and how you went from Double Exposure to Meridian Entertainment.
Well, I actually, true story. KRS-One reached out to me, and he was like, "Yo, I need a publicist for a tour," and I was at Double Exposure at the time, and so I started working with KRS-One, and I'm giving you the long story short story, you know. And so I started working with KRS-One. My boss found out. He was like, he let me go. You know what I mean? So then I jumped in and I became KRS-One's publicist with Chase. And so we had two other clients at the time. We had Yvette Michelle, actually three. Yvette Michelle, Myron from Island Black Music, and a poetry group called A Touch of Reality. And then that's really how we jumped into it. You know, yeah, it was just one thing to the next. You know what I mean? And started working with KRS-One being our most major client. We helped him create the Temple of Hip Hop. You know, ask Chris. You know, he'll tell you that me and Chase would have phone conversations with him, and we helped him create the foundations for the Temple of Hip Hop and Hip Hop Appreciation Week, which is actually this week. You know, actually, you know, it's all beautiful, man. It's all actually Hip Hop Appreciation Week was in May, I believe. I think it was in May, yeah. So, yeah, Hip Hop Appreciation Week was in May. So, anyway, it was a
yes, we're recording.
Wonderful.
Yes, Love Jones. I'm sorry to interrupt. Yes,
you're gonna save it, right?
We're recording. This is live. We're recording, so everybody can always listen later.
So Chase and I just started Meridian, man, and then we just started getting a whole bunch of clients. You know, like Wu-Tang Records, Burger King. The list goes on. You know, a lot of independent acts, a lot of indie acts, clothing lines, privacy wear, and so it was just something that was just a beautiful experience. And then our last client was John Cena, WWE superstar John Cena.
Yeah,
that was our last client. And
how
then
did you connect with him?
no, he was cool. He had an album called it was an album that he did with Freddie Fox, and that as a hip hopper, because he also not only as a WWE superstar, he was also a rapper. So
really?
Freddie Fox produced his album, and so he was signed, and then WWE put out this album, and so that's really how we started. So they hired my company to do the PR for that album. Shout out to my brother Freddie Fox, aka Bumpy Knuckles, man. That's
some hip hop trivia for real, because I would have
never
thought.
Yeah.
He did.
No, those that know, you know, John Cena, know him from, you know, being a WWE superstar. Like he was the champion, and at that time he was the champion. So he would come out and he would go, you know, you can't see me. You know, he would do that, and he would spit a rhyme in the ring. So Freddie Fox is his boy, and he can really rhyme, like, you know. So Freddie Fox, you know, got involved with the album, and Freddie don't get down with anything that's whack or corny. He wouldn't do it. Yeah. So he produced the album, and it was dope, you know. And so we did the publicity for that album, and that was a beautiful situation. You know, it was a beautiful situation. Got exposed to WWE, you know, audience, and that was our last client before we went our separate ways, you know. So shout out to Chase.
That's incredible. So y'all went your separate ways to try different directions, to go into different.
We just moved in different directions. You know, I had a family at the time. I had you know, my youngest daughter, Molly, and you know, so I was in, a new relationship, and, so we just went our separate ways. She moved to Georgia, and I stayed here in New York City, and I just got into DJing full time.
So when you went in a different direction and going, what made you decide to go back into DJs instead of continuing on with publicity?
Honestly, I got burnt out. Honestly, I got burnt out. When you do PR for a client, you become at that client's whim.
Yes.
And I just got tired of, basically working for others, So I really wanted to throw my hat into working for myself, whether it's being a DJ or just becoming an entrepreneur. So I really just jumped into the water, So I just got burnt out. 97, I was like, I'm sorry. Yeah, 97 to 2007. 2007. That's when I ended it, And then I was managing at the time. I was managing a few groups. I managed Blue Slide. I started managing a band. And then, I had my own band, Earthman Experience.
That's right.
With Earthman. So we did that, So I just it was just good to DJ and at the same time get into some other avenues of aspects of music, such as management and actually being in a band.
So didn't you also get into radio too? I was reading in your bio you did some radio and actually trained in radio. Did you train in announcing?
Yes, I started in radio. I studied radio and television broadcasting right after high school. I went to a school in Manhattan called Announcer Training Studios, and then when I left that school, I got a position. Well, it wasn't really a position. It was more like quote unquote internship kind of vibe at WSOU 89.5 FM, Seton Hall University Radio, and I ended up coming from school, graduating from school, to now I'm training 12 high school students every Sunday on the radio. So, yeah, it was a wonderful experience. It was like I went from, leaving that to now I'm training 12 high school students every Sunday on 89.5 FM, WSOU. The show was called Quest Community Vibrations. Shout out to Joyce Smith Carter. Shout out to Wu Carter. Shout out to Larry McCain. And shout out to my brother, that brought me on. And it was just a great experience to train the kids on how to be on the radio. So I did that, and that was my first exposure on radio, because now I'm on FM radio, I'm on FM radio, and so I'm playing my mixes, I'm training the kids, I'm also bringing in guests from the community, so that was a great experience. And then I went from that to working with another radio station, WGBB, and then also WNJR. I don't know if you're familiar with WNJR.
Is this all in Jersey? This is all in
Jersey. This is all in Jersey. And WNJR had Carlos de Jesus. Carlos de Jesus was a hugely popular radio disc jockey who also did New York City Hot Tracks. Okay. He hosted New York City Hot Tracks. Rest in peace.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was a monumental achievement for me to be on that station. But then again, I had to pay for that slot. So it was still, I had to hustle ads. I was hustling ads in the community to pay for the show. And
that's great. I mean, you learned everything: sales, marketing,
early,
radio production, announcing, training, supervision. I mean, just everything.
Yeah, and I did the ads. So now I'm hustling, getting the ads, monies, from businesses, hair salon, whatever, and then I would actually create and voice the ads. I would voice the ads and air the ads on the show. So I would get the money from for the ads, create the ads, and air them, and pay for the slot. So it was an amazing experience. The show was called Midnight Expressions, and that was interesting.
So
shout out to my boy Andre.
So that background in Jersey in radio, how did you get into radio in New York City?
That right there, I'm currently on 99.5, WBAI. That happened. Well, we started. The show's called Haitian All Stars Radio.
Mm-hmm.
So Haitian All Stars Radio. What up, Stanley? How you doing, my brother? Red Rooster in the house. So sorry about that. I had to shout out my brother. So that happened. I started doing Haitian All Stars Radio on Miss Lily's on Houston Street, which was a storefront. Back like several years ago, I want to say 7 years ago, we started a show on Miss Lily's radio station, Radio Lily. And then I got a call from WBAI that they heard the show on Miss Lily's. And shout out to Jeannie Hopper. Jeannie Hopper was the interim program director at WBAI. And she said, we're looking for new shows for WBAI. Would you be interested? And I was like, cool. So I met with Jeannie, and we've been at WBAI ever since. Wow. It's that simple. You know, we're actually in between because Radio Lily had shut down, and we didn't have a home for a while. And so we were still doing Haitian All Stars Radio, you know, just Haitian All Stars, you know, putting out mixes. Shout out to DJC and the entire crew. And, you know, and then I got a call from WBAI. And then BAI was like, yo, we need new shows, and jumped on. So we've been there ever since. The slot actually is a late slot here in New York, but we took that same show and now we spread it across other platforms, such as iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, SoundCloud, Mixcloud, Podomatic. So we're across all the platforms. And Twitch.
And Twitch too.
Twitch. So I'm on Twitch. So,
wow.
Yeah, it was we just learned, we learned that, WBAI is not the only platform that we can, air. So we take that same show, I pre-record the show, and I, send it to Jay, and he spreads it across all the other platforms.
So y'all doing your own syndication.
Worldwide and international. Global.
That's what it's about.
D-Tuggle, what's up, D-Tuggle? Shout out to everybody that follows me on Instagram too. On Twitch and Instagram.
Yes, and
TikTok.
Follow us, because we're trying to grow our page. We want people to know the importance of, preserving Black music culture. And this, if you follow us and donate to us, please donate to us. We could use your funds so that we can make some really great programs in and around the United States and in the world, really. We just did a Black Music Month library curation, which has never been done before. And we did it with 15 universities, HBCUs and PWIs in the month of June. And we want to do more things like that to really educate people about Black music and Black music culture. So donate to us. Click all the information that's on our page. Harry, you got to connect with us because, you're doing so much. I mean, you're so much. And you're just contributing so much. And it's so much love. You're doing it because you love what you do. How important is that in doing what you do and the love for it? How important is that?
Oh, wow. It's nothing like it. It's nothing like it because for me to be able to get paid to do what I love brings me absolute joy. Like, for example, doing a wedding. That's one of my most favorite gigs to do, to watch me, to be able to provide the music soundtrack for someone's special day. That's so beautiful to me. And, I'll shed a tear every time, But I love getting calls for weddings. I love getting calls for baby showers. I did a repast just yesterday, to be able to give joy to people in their time of sorrow brings me absolute joy. And so I think it's that kind of selfless, giving spirit that I live myself. I try to live my life to give back to the community. And, that really, it just makes me happy, to be able to do what I love at this stage of my life, to be able to get paid for it and to make people happy in doing what I do, even if it's doing a club or spinning at a restaurant or wherever, So one of the most proudest times of my life. I was honored in 2019 by the Haitian Roundtable organization. Big shout out to Rose, the entire Haitian Roundtable. They do this list called the 1804 list. And I was one of the honorees that year, 2019, right before the pandemic. And
Wow.
it was unforgettable because I brought my mom as my date. You know,
Oh.
I brought my mom as my date because it was like you're in front of a whole room of, you know, full room of luminaries, Haitian luminaries, from entertainment to sports to government to education. It was entertainment. It was incredible. And Mona Scott Young, you know, of Love and Hip Hop, you know, Mama Army
Yes.
Entertainment, and Dr. Jeff Gardier presented me with the award.
Oh,
So
wow.
it was one of those moments for me that was super gratifying and fulfilling because I was able to bring my mom to see that, to say, you know what I mean? Like it's one of those things that you want your mom to see
Your
that, you know,
family.
and your
Yeah.
family. And so my mom was there, and I also received a proclamation just recently on Flag Day, May 18th, Haitian Flag Day, by a council member Chiose's office. And that was another moment, you know what I mean? It's like, here it is this year, I'm getting these moments. And I just got another citation or honor by the Brooklyn Borough President, Antonio Reynoso, just on Hip Hop's Day, August 12th, for Hip Hop's 50th. So
And were you the
that,
Grand
that,
Marshal
that,
of the parade or something?
that's what that was it.
Fun.
August 12th. I was on the so you know it feels great. It feels great, and I'm super grateful and super honored to be able to be honored. You know, to be received, to be seen,
Yep. Come on.
and I've been putting a lot of work over the years. You know, so I believe I deserve it. You know.
Absolutely.
However, it's beautiful that others, you know, are giving me those, you know, flowers, and I appreciate it. You know, I so much, man. You know,
You listen. You
so grateful.
absolutely deserve it. Absolutely deserve it. All that you've done, and I've
Thank
seen
you.
you do. You know, up close and from far away, all the way here in Houston, Texas. I
Thank
know
you.
that you have an absolute love for it. You know, you have a love for what you do, a love for hip hop, love for black music, black people, Haitian Americans, Americans. You know, I just really love watching your progression and seeing your
Thank you.
starlight shine brighter and brighter.
Thank you
So
so
share with
much.
us one more thing. Share us about you do community activism and you just have such a passion for your home country. Why is that so important to you?
It's important because hip Haiti, where I was born in Port-au-Prince, uh, and to see the country suffer right now hurts my heart. You know, as someone that's been raised here in the United States, I left Haiti at 3 years old, and you know, I've been here in the States, living as an American. You know, but my roots are back home. So, you know, Haiti is, you know, the first independent nation to free ourselves from slavery. So when you look at the history of Haiti and what we've overcome from the French and the colonizers to become free, and we freed others, you know, it just, for me, it's just something that I will never lose sight of, you know, never lose sight of. So I love my culture. I love my people. I love my island. I love the language, the food, you know, the community. It's just something that's in my blood. So every opportunity, every chance I get to raise funds or to offer help and solutions to Haiti, I do. I can, you know. And I use my resources. I use my platform to spread, you know, the culture. You know, what's up, Coco? How you doing, Boss Lady Coco in the building? every opportunity. Every opportunity I do that because I want people to know how important Haiti is to the world and how important Haiti is to me and why it should be important to you.
Everyone, yeah. Are you still, do you have dual citizenship? Do you go at
No,
all?
I'm an American citizen.
Oh, okay.
I'm an American citizen.
Do you get to visit
But I
at
have
all?
family. No, because like I said, most of my family is in Port-au-Prince. I have family in Jacmel as well, in La Vallée de Jacmel, and my dad is from Cap, Cap Haitian. So, it's just because of the strife, that I've been, avoiding traveling to Haiti at this time.
Okay.
But I do hope to go back like in a very near future, and bring my kids, I got to shout out my kids, please.
Absolutely. Family first. Family
Big
first.
shout out to my eldest son, Elijah. I love you, Eli. Big shout out to Molly Dada, my daughter. Meme, I love you. Shout out to Paya. I love you, Paya. She's in Texas. Big shout out to my youngest son, Ngozi. Big shout out to Go. And I got to give a big shout out to my 3 grandchildren, Noah, Zakai, and my newest grandchild, Nico Star. So just giving a shout out to my kids, man. They keep me going, and they're my legacy. And they're the heirs to the throne.
I hear you. So this
Yes.
we got 4 minutes left, and I truly
Yes.
appreciate you for staying on for this whole amount of time, because I know
Oh,
you're a
my
very
pleasure.
busy man, very busy Black man. But what is it? Why is it important that we preserve Black music culture in America and worldwide? Why is it important that we preserve it?
Wow. I feel it's important because we need to tell our story. We need to leave a legacy. We need to show that, people try to twist things around, we need to actually give people a blueprint of what we have started, what we have set, a precedent. And Black music is so rich, they want to be us. Everyone, they want to emulate us. We are the standard, So that's why it's very important that we have to set the record straight, It's so much that I can say, it's so much that I can say, but I think everyone has to do their part. Everyone has to do their part. Everyone has to use their platform to continue spreading and to continue giving people the blueprint, like I'm doing.
Absolutely.
I use my platform to not only play music, but to educate, and I'm not just playing music. Like, I'm getting on the mic and I'm talking about it, and then like you're doing, you're using your platform to bring folks like me on, and that's very important, and I also realized that in this world, content is key. Content is key. So it's not enough just to do it, but to also clip it and share it and promote it. That's how I've been taught as a publicist.
Absolutely.
That's how I've been taught as a publicist. So there's certain things that I've learned as a publicist that will never leave my spirit. Shout out to Angelo Ellerby, who's a huge influence in my life. Like, he's always on my shoulder.
Wow.
Like, whenever you see me do something, even if it's a post or if it's, if it's promoting something, Angelo Ellerby is like sitting on my shoulder, telling me, like, whispering in my ear. So I got to give mad love to Angelo Ellerby. He's a huge influence in my life. But yeah, that's the best way. Let's continue to preserve Black music, because Black music is everything.
Thank you so much. And you know what? That's what we are. We're Black music preservationists, and our mission is to make that a phrase that people grab onto and take hold of, because that's what you, as DJ, you're a Black music preservation. Every time you play the music and you're sharing songs and productions that people haven't heard of or have heard of, you're helping them remember and to preserve what that person created. So you are officially a Black music preservationist, sir. And make sure you let other people know that as well.
Absolutely. Save this live so I can share it.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for
Sending
being
you
on.
big hug. Sending you big hug and
so
kiss.
Much love from
I look forward to seeing you so we can hug up.
Absolutely, because I've been trying to get to New York for a minute. I will be back, and it's going to be on and popping when I do return. Thank you for being on Phat Fridays.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And we love you. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back next week with our next guest. We had the DJ this time. The last time we had the MC. And next time we will have the dancer, B-girl choreographer on. So tune in. Spread love, share love, and we thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.